Hey everybody, welcome to Hold the Mic. We are your hosts, Ryan and Ian.
What up,
Brothers,
though?
how are you doing this Friday?
I'm doing good, man. I watch some people blow shit up. America.
America, woohoo!
I'm still rocking it, baby. This is
I
where I'm
see
at
that.
right now.
I see that.
It's one of my favorite things, man. I wear it every year for 4th of July, and it's funny the looks I get. I'll tell you more about it, but it's like people in New York think I'm like mega. Like it cracks me up. I'm like, nah, man. We everybody got to represent, man. Today's the
Yeah,
day.
man.
Any day, today's the day to rep it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, weren't celebrating. I mean, we went out and did fireworks with the kids. We had some family over, so it was a really good time, man. Dominic, I've discovered, is a pyro.
Mm,
He likes to take the not it wasn't a Roman candle, but it like kind of like a Roman candle. It just shoots out the sparks,
yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time. So he's pointing it at the boxes from the little fountains, trying to get them on fire.
He wants everything to burn.
Well,
Everything.
well, he wants to. I think what happened is because we live in Arizona, so you have to be responsible. And so
Yeah.
I ran a hose out to the road to make sure that if anything happened, we could put it out. And so I think he wanted to use the hose more than anything. I think he wanted to put the fire out.
He wanted to start
So
the fire
start the fire so he can
and
put
put
it.
out the fire.
Yeah, might be more concerning.
I love a good anarchist. No, man,
Yeah.
we celebrated it by not doing anything. We just one of my close friends came by and we did like a family dinner. But like all of us were
Oh,
like,
cool.
we have things to do tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. We're like, go to bed. Everybody go to
Yeah,
bed. Everybody do their thing.
that's our
But it's
yeah.
funny because I'd walk around like this is a tank top, so like I'll walk around and and we just did like we kept it local in Brooklyn and we didn't do anything. We just chilled out. But we saw some fireworks as actually I was introducing to my friend Tom X-Men 97. I was like, you got to watch this. You haven't watched it? And he was like,
I still haven't watched it.
he's like, I don't have time. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to watch one episode right now. Here we go. So we did that instead last night.
You're
And,
like,
and then
I've kidnapped you, and we're going
I
to watch it now.
kidnapped. Amber Alert, my friend Tom. Amber Alert. He's a big child. Okay. No, but I made him
Oh my gosh,
we did a dope family dinner and just kicked it. So it was dope. It was
that's
really a good
awesome.
time. But I said, I'm going to rock this shirt and I'll tell you more about it at the end of the show as my positive.
You're
So
positive.
that's my positive.
Good.
So we'll
Good.
we'll circle back on that. But
Good.
happy 4th to everybody. I hope you guys all had a
Yes.
safe time.
Uh,
When you were talking about your son with the
Yeah.
Roman candle, I think about it here in New York because you'll see a lot of footage, especially if you go up New York fireworks. You'll see like fun street gangs have Roman candles and look like ghetto ass wizards shooting each other down the street, and you're just like, I mean, from up here at the top of the building, that shit looks cute and fun, but I don't want to be down there and get shot in the face by this shit, man.
We got to circle back to Ghetto Wizard. Can we please?
Look, I'll try to share the video with you. It cracks me up when I see it every year. You see them chasing each other just with these Roman
Uh-oh.
candles, and you see like a pink flash by, and you see a green flash by, and it's just like, it's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Hey guys, are we okay? I noticed we aren't getting any viewers, and somebody said it looks frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So anybody in the comment sections, if y'all can, yeah, because we're stuck at 3 viewers. Something's up.
So, woohoo! You watching the George Stephanopoulos? I see that on YouTube. We're on.
Yeah, this is weird. I'm gonna go on Twitter because usually we get a lot from Twitter. Maybe they aren't letting me.
That says working now. Thank you,
working
Juan.
now. Yeah, it's just weird because we're not getting any.
Now I told you I'm in a storm right here. Not frozen on YouTube. Yeah, we're not frozen on YouTube. Thank you, Kalen. What up, Kalen?
Yeah, so but it's been an interesting week, to say the least. Um,
It's been
I'm
an
still
interesting
stuck.
week,
I'm
man.
still stuck on Ghetto Wizards, man.
That's-
I can't lie. I'm still stuck on Ghetto Wizards.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
So
It's New York. It's urban life, man, or urban warfare, whatever one you want to look
urban life, urban warfare. Kind of same thing.
I'll send you the video footage that I have. It's priceless.
And thank you everybody for saying it's working. So I don't know what's up with our analytics over here, but we got more than 6 people in the comment section. So
What up, Joe? Thank you everybody for joining in. All 6
Jeffrey
of you.
said AOC said she's filing articles of impeachment against the 6 conservative justices. I fully support that. I love the move. Whether it's going to culminate anything. If anything's
Yeah.
going to come from it, we'll see. But I just love the fact that it's like, okay, you guys want to play games? Let's play some games. And
Yeah.
and I hate to say it, but that's the atmosphere we live in right now. We don't live in the they go low, we go high political arena right now. We
Right.
live in the it's time to kneecap them political arena.
Hey
So
man, it's all about that John Wick. It's not our grandfather's party anymore.
no,
You know, the decorum is out the window.
to me, I think it's evident.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, who was it? Somebody texted me, and they said, I think it was a buddy of mine that I was in the military with, and he texted me. He's like, I think like they're literally arguing about their golf game now. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, like he was just like that level of
Oh, yeah.
this is stupid.
They were one step away from talking about how much Viagra they take. Like that's where they were at. Like, I'm sorry. It was a dick measuring contest at the very bitter end. You know.
It was. The bad thing was is Biden was getting better as the minutes went on.
Yes.
So it was almost like you wanted it to go for another 20 minutes, but at the same time it was just such a disaster overall that I think everybody was going, end it now.
Pull
Just
it.
stop asking questions.
Pull it. Just
Please.
pull it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is slated for an hour and a half. It should have been 30 minutes at best.
Grandpa needs his porridge, and I mean that for both. I mean
for
that
both, yeah.
They're the same
And-
age, guys. There's nothing
diaper
about
changes
it. They are
and-
literally
Yeah.
handful difference.
I
Nothing.
think, man, what should we call this our Feelings Friday? Our first bullet point?
Well, I think it's stop making stupid people famous.
Oh no, I got one. We already got a stop.
Oh,
We already got one for that.
Then this is Feelings Friday.
And he's gonna be feeling in his face.
For those of you who don't know, Feelings Friday is a segment that we love to bring up from time to time, especially as we're adding more segments, where we like to talk about those who find themselves deep within their feelings. And on this lovely Friday, Ryan, take it away.
So we have Brandon Fellows, and if you don't know who this particular person
Gentleman.
is, yeah, hesitate to call him that. Let me get the screenshot here. So Anarchy Princess on Twitter, just want to give a big shout out to her. This is the person's site that we're looking at here, or page, I should say. So. Is that too loud?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So he's on the phone, and girl comes over and punches him in the face, and then the dude just rocks him a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Sorry for those who don't like to watch fascists get punched in the face.
Oh, I think anybody that watches this show loves it. So I think we're safe.
Just putting a disclaimer.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I swear TikTok's coming for you.
So the interesting thing about this dude is he's on probation. And this is the same guy that was making faces during the Fauci hearing.
Okay.
So, he's out here bragging about hitting a woman and, getting in an altercation with her and stuff, and dude's on probation. It's just like, how dumb
And
do you have
wasn't
to
he
be?
at-
Like, he gets out of prison, he's like, oh, let me go to the Capitol again and sit behind Fauci and make faces so everybody notices
Well,
me
why was he in prison?
for January 6th.
Thank you. You didn't put that out there.
Yeah, sorry, my fault. Yeah,
He
he's
was
a
in
January
prison
6th,
because of January 6th. He's a J6er. He
Yep.
got them J6s. And then he went to prison. He got out. And then Fauci said, why would you put this person? Who allowed this?
Yeah,
Because of all the security that you have here, who allows
he's sitting
putting
2
this
rows
guy
behind him.
sitting behind, but also knowing he's right there in the camera shot? That was a plug. Somebody on the inside put him there. And
I
there's
think
no
Margie
way
Taylor.
around it.
My money's on Margie Taylor Greene.
Of course.
I bet she had something to do with it.
Who's the biggest troll, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, but so what is this situation? Is it coming out right now of him?
Yeah,
being
like
this
this was
fight?
fairly. This is fairly new.
Okay.
So like I said, this was back in June 3rd. This was him being removed from the hearing. So that's Dr. Fauci, and they're removing him and another
Oh.
girl from the hearing.
Okay.
So that's who this kid is. But yeah, he's a mess. Shout out again to Anarchy Princess. You can find her at SatireAP on Twitter. She's got a pretty good account. So go give her some love for keeping us all updated on that particular douchebag. And yeah, let's look in the comments real quick.
Kalen's on it. Kalen's on it. This was his first 4th of July since getting out, and he violated his probation and got popped in the face.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Kalen said his next court date is July 15th.
You have the freedom to get punched in the face for saying dumb stuff.
God bless America.
His next court date is July 15th. Oh my God! Can you imagine going?
I believe this will be brought up, Your Honor.
Oh yeah, pretty sure. Like it's not even going to be out of the news cycle yet.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The judge is going to be looking at his phone like, I was just reading an article about you.
I just saw this on TikTok. Why are you getting your ass popped in D.C.? Don't answer that question. Sit your ass down.
Yeah, don't say anything else.
Don't say anything. Shut up. God,
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah, Anarchy Princess is awesome for sure. So and shout out to everybody out there on social media right now that's doing the work. You know, I know people don't necessarily understand the amount of time that a lot of these people put into this. So, you know, a big shout out to everybody that's, you know, putting in the work and sharing the messages, you know, sharing their support for the Biden-Harris administration. And, you know, it's a marathon. You know, it's been a bumpy road for the last few weeks, but, you know, it's a marathon. So we're going to get into some more of that here in a second.
Well, man, I want to give you your flowers before you pass on by. All right, you did a special thing for me this past week, and yeah, man, you made a TikTok about me, and you big me up. I just got to give you your flowers. You're over here promoting a lot of people, man. I just got to really say it. You know, I was looking at one of your most recent ones where you were talking about how, and I know we'll get into it, about just how people are kind of snakes and stabbing each other in the back and all this stuff, especially from Democratic Party or whatever. But Ryan, I gotta give you your flowers, man. You're really looking out for people in general. You're always bigging up somebody, and you know, for me, it's fun. Here's what I'll say to you: I literally was like talking about some music and posted something, and then out of nowhere, without seeing anything on TikTok, I started seeing a lot of likes happening. I go, oh, okay, someone might be liking my music. That's what's up. I looked there and I go, this shit has nothing to do with my music. What is happening right now? I go, why do I have all these people adding me? I go, what happened? What just went viral? What did Ryan do? I go, something happened. Immediately, I'm just like, what did Ryan do? What did he do? And then I look and I go, there's a TikTok. It says, hey guys, this is my buddy over here, Ian. Why don't you go ahead and like him? And I started dying laughing, Ryan. I was like, this guy right here. So thank you for making a TikTok about me. It blew up. I appreciate you. I got a number of likes, follows, and we're one step closer for us to be able to date on TikTok. If you guys don't know, we're trying to get there.
Doing that thing again.
Is it doing it?
Yeah, it did it again.
It might be with this weather. It might be with this weather.
Oh, yeah, that could be. Because we
might be with this weather.
We haven't had many issues with it.
No, but there's definitely a storm happening right now here in New York. But yes, so thank you for the shout out, the layup, and you guys. We're trying to get me to a certain number so we can debate and bring the show and some other special things to TikTok. So,
yeah, he needs 1,000 followers. He needs 1,000 followers on TikTok so that him and I can go live together on TikTok. So if you're watching here on TikTok right now and you don't already, go follow Ian. Ian Sherman. He's puts out all his music on there and clips of the show. So definitely go give him a follow. Like I said, we're just trying to get to 1,000 so that he can come on there with me and we can start doing shows on there.
Starting some trouble.
Yeah, we need to start a little trouble on TikTok.
Some good trouble. We got some good trouble. But yeah, so thank you, man. That's your flowers.
Oh, appreciate you, brother. That's like Cam said. That's what we do. You know, but that's something that we need to do, not just among friends, but just within the party too. Like we need to just lift up the accounts that are putting out the message. Man, is it Noah Knows? I think it's Noah Knows. But he's like the young black kid. He just put out a awesome video. Basically, this 12-year-old kid's putting out a video shaming third-party voters, and I'm freaking loving it. I'm loving it. And it's just to see this young man, putting out these messages the way that he is, and being able to articulate it the way that he is. I just, like I said, I look forward to seeing what this kid's going to do in the future. He's he definitely already has a plan in mind.
Nice.
And I love that. So, like I said, his parents, I know his parents are overseeing. Sorry, didn't mean to click that off so fast. His parents are overseeing what he's doing
Appreciate
and everything.
you,
but just the fact that he's so involved, it's great. And I've gotten to speak with him privately, and it's really interesting the things that drive him to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
So just shout out to Noah Knows on Twitter, and he's on TikTok too. So check him out there.
That's what's up, man.
But with that said, let's move on to all of our talking points because we actually have quite a long.
We got a show,
outline.
guys.
Yeah, we got a show. So, and if you're in the comment section, Kaylin just dropped Ian's TikTok, so it's even easier. Just go click that link, and it'll take you right to his page. So, with that said, I want to talk about the Democratic Party and how it seems like they're all turning on Joe Biden after the debate.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah.
what is your initial reaction right now?
You know what's interesting, Ryan? When I go back and I revert back to us doing the show where we watched it live, right? And we had our commentary, and we were sitting there, and I just remember at the very end, you and I are like, okay, Joe Biden had a rough start. We really tried to critique it. We fact checked Trump, and we're like, here's all the lies, here's everything, and we're sitting there, and then out of nowhere, we start looking at the group chat, and then they start saying CNN is saying this was a horrible job. This and that, and we're like, what did they see that we did not see?
Yeah.
I know we were sitting here. I know we were getting sauced up. I know we were having a good time. But I went back and I rewatched the debate, period. Just rewatched it.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that I'm sitting here and I go, we watched an 80-year-old man try to cite data, like go back and be like, okay, this is the statistics. This is what we're looking at. Here's the facts. And let me go ahead and give this to you. Who has a speech impediment, who's never been good at being on stage. Not to just wipe away like his performance. Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. We got that. But I'm looking at his last 3 years, his resume versus an hour and 30 minutes to be like, this guy's done. This guy's done. I'm looking at this man who literally brought the world together to protect Israel from Iran with those 300 something missiles flying at them, when he brought everybody together to literally step in and say, we got to shut this down. That was Biden.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, you guys are really going to judge him off an hour and 30 that he just had an off day?
Yeah.
I know out of all the shows you and I have done, we've had off days. Something's happened.
Yep.
So you're going to judge me really for that? So I'm looking at the Democratic Party and I'm like, you guys had 4 years to figure that shit out. 4 years.
Yes.
You want to choose now 5 months before the election to have
4 months.
4 months. 4 months. You want to choose 4 months now to do this. What up, Angry Bunny? We see you. Angry Bunny and I became best friends, by the way. That's my homie right there.
Yeah,
we write to each other on TikTok.
That happens with her.
She's dope. She's dope. You know, dope people.
Yeah, she's
real recognizes real. And but I'm sitting here and I'm like, how are you guys gonna just turn about face on Biden that fast? And then you want to use someone like Kamala to big up where you've not used 4 years to help promote and build her brand up. And she just was on a Complex magazine talking about Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, is cringeworthy. This is why you're not going to be president. You don't understand the culture.
Yeah.
You do not read the tea leaves. This is something, you don't have anything to actually offer the conversation. She'll just fall back.
Yeah. Yeah,
the fact that there's
clips she should have stayed away from that one.
The fact that there's clips of Barry Obama talking about between, years ago when he was president.
Years ago.
Ooh, Drake or Kendrick? He goes, I'm going to go with
Kendrick.
That clip plays even more today than ever before. Like, Kamala.
She would have gotten so much gas. She would have gotten so much gas.
Take some notes, girl. You should have been in the video because you're from California.
Hey.
You weren't on stage. You should have been on stage with Kendrick. Read the room.
Hire Ian for political consultancy.
You know what I'm saying? Read the room, man. I mean, she might have convicted most of the people on that stage, but regardless.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
I remember her resume, all right?
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
Yeah.
You know she was invited to that. So those are my honest thoughts. What are your thoughts about this situation? Because I know this is close to home for you.
Well, I mean, I think it's close to home for all of us, man.
No. No,
Why do you say that?
because of how the Democrats treated you in Arizona.
Oh, well, I mean, we've talked about it on the show before. I left the party a little over a year ago, and you talk about reading tea leaves, and I just saw what was coming, and unfortunately, what I thought and kept to myself for a lot of last year, we are seeing now.
Right.
And I admittedly didn't say it because I knew that a lot of people that follow me wouldn't like hearing it.
Yeah.
But now that we can all, it's not just me running my mouth anymore. It's look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Look at how they're sabotaging this election. The fact that an entire party can rally around a liable sexual abuser, a narcissist, a 34-time convicted felon, a liable sexual abuser, an accused pedophile, a business fraud, historic racist.
Yeah.
The fact that nobody is demanding that a felon, when most felons can't vote in almost every state in this country.
Right.
I don't know if there's any state where they can, honestly.
And DeSantis is trying to bump him to the top of the list. People
And
have been waiting 12 years.
DeSantis has already said that basically he'll make sure that Trump doesn't lose his right to vote in the state of Florida. Must be nice to have that kind of influence.
Yeah.
So, I'll say what I said online today. I think Joe Biden should sign an executive order tomorrow that says that anybody convicted of a felony can no longer run for public office in any level of government.
Oh, you want him to flex with his new supreme power that he was just bestowed?
You're damn right I do.
I
hated the video he did, just being real. I hated the video he did where he was like, "Well, we're better than that, and I'm not gonna." No, use the tools that the Supreme Court have given you.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna hesitate to use what the precedent that was just set against us?
I have to say, I thought about it and I go, this is where Biden should have been the one-term president, and he should have flexed and showed this ultimate power and been
done it all.
This is how dangerous, and this is how dangerous it could be. Yep. And I will now put in order where I will take away this power of a president and put everything back. Like, I'm going to show you what it could be ruthlessly, with giving me this. It's all of it under the presidency.
But there's so many things that he could do that a majority of Americans would get behind.
Yeah.
That if he started pumping out executive orders that the majority wanted, it would make him even more popular. It'd be like, this dude is in there doing, keeping the promises that he gave us.
What's stopping him right now? He's given power.
That's the issue I have. He's been given the power. But it goes back to this. As much as I love Obama, I think he made a horrible mistake by not appointing, just forgetting all the BS and saying, I'm still going to appoint the Supreme Court justice.
Right.
And let them let them go through the process and let the Republicans look like the idiots. But instead, he played politics and he played it safe, and he basically backed off for a whole year. And then what happens, and I think what we all hoped was a Democrat like Hillary was going to win, and she would appoint the next Supreme Court justice.
I still feel like they would have
blew up in our face.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump got elected, and he was a domestic terrorist was able to appoint 3 Supreme Court justices.
Wild.
And now we are seeing the effects of that. So,
and let's say this. Let's add to it, Ryan. The next president might be picking the next 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices.
Oh, listen, you hear me now. If Donald Trump gets the White House, there will be at least 2 Supreme Court justices that will be retiring within a year.
Yeah.
So that Donald Trump can appoint a young extremist replacement for each of them.
Yeah.
You bet your ass. And then we're screwed. Then we're royally screwed.
Yeah. It's game over.
Yeah, that would be game over. Because again, the Democrats don't have the balls to expand the court when we're in power. Or at least try. But it's like we just sit there and we don't fight back, and it's killing me. It's like I just did a video the other day. I'm like, the Democrats don't want me. Do you know how good I look on paper?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a veteran. I'm disabled. My wife's a disabled vet. Like, I own firearms. I drive a big red F-150. Like, I carry. I check off so many boxes for conservatives. That's why when a lot of people sit down and talk to me and they're not just reading my posts, that are meant to get your attention,
Right.
they talk to me like, oh, you're actually pretty reasonable. It's like, yeah, no shit. Because
And
being
one
an
of my
extremist
favorites-
doesn't get us anywhere.
One of my favorites, you are part of the loving community. You have this beautiful interracial couple. You got these beautiful kids. You
And
are
you'd be
what is America, man.
And you'd be surprised how many Democrats aren't okay with that.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all, brother, because I am also the same product. And people have loose lips around me.
I'm telling you. I tell people
Until
all
I do
the time.
this, I go, I'm the wrong one. Sorry.
It happened all the time, dude. They look at me, especially, dude, without the hat.
Oh, yeah.
I look like a friendly
Oh, yeah.
to all the
yeah.
wrong people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like you said, they'll start talking, and it's just like, damn, I wish you hadn't said that in front of me. But
nah, I gotta hate you.
yeah, now we're gonna have some issues. But it's just so a prime example, the Disney heiress.
Yeah.
Came out today. You sent me that.
Yeah.
And said that she's going to pause donating to the Democratic Party and the Biden administration. Now, to be fair, the Biden administration came out and said that she hadn't donated to the campaign anyway. So
good for them.
Yeah, they came out and responded to that.
For starting shit. As in, talking shit back to them. Well, that'd be nice if you would have donated, but you didn't. So
yeah, you hadn't donated this cycle anyway, so whatever. Go Lions, thank you.
It's one of those things that I really do feel like the money and the infrastructure, being CNN, MSNBC, excuse me,
Oh, it's killing me, dude.
they're
New
the
York
ones
Times.
that are New York Times. It's almost like they're doing hit pieces. Like it really is like they're ganging up on Biden for
They
them
are hit pieces.
to get him to fold. And it's
Yeah.
like, you guys, I've always said this, unless he is deciding to bounce, he's in it. He's in it.
I love it. I prefer to say intershade, not interracial. I love that.
So I'm an intershade child. I don't even know how do you
I
rock
like
that one.
I like that. Stop it.
Hey, I no, I'm not even against that. I do like to also drop, the global majority of people. So that's one of my favorites.
It's just it's a really interesting time, and every time we get up to a major shift in our society, we get this kind of pushback.
Right.
And and I'm seeing Gen Z. We were just talking about a young 12, 13-year-old kid, that's very involved.
Yes.
This Gen Z, like when I was 12, 13, you think I was thinking about elections and the president and legislation, and no, I was thinking about a lot of other things, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So, just to see, and I understand, I've gotten to talk to some of these kids, and I love the perspective that they give me, because it's like, why, the one question I always ask is, why do you feel the need to get involved now, like at your young age? And most of them say to me, or most of them that I've talked to, I should say, like I'm probably 10, so I'm not saying I've talked to hundreds, but they've all said to me the active shooter drills was very eye-opening.
That's the first thing I think of, Ryan. You and I, we are in a generation that didn't have to do that. We did tornado drills back in Detroit. That was what we did.
Tornado drills. Yep.
You know what I mean? That was our drill.
Yeah.
You hear this noise, you go in the hallway, you put your head down, blah, blah.
And by the way, there aren't many tornadoes in Michigan, in case you didn't know.
No, it's a rarity.
Yeah.
But that's like think about that. If that was so, think about how they're being activated.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
We're not doing anything for you, so good luck.
I mean, and imagine being a kid in school, a teenager, middle school, high school, and you watch what happened in Uvalde. You watch, 40, 50, 60 plus cops stand around for 40 plus minutes.
Right.
And listen to the kids be slaughtered. And then stop parents of some of those kids from going in to try to stop what was happening.
That's right.
Like,
arresting
to sit
parents.
there and watch how that...
Not stop. Arresting parents.
Yeah.
Who tried to.
Arrested parents, thank you.
Yeah.
But to watch how that all went down as a kid, I would be like, wow, nobody, like you just said, nobody's going to come help us.
It's just me.
It's us. It's whoever's in that classroom.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest things. And now you're looking at little girls, like that are my daughter's age, and you're
Right.
telling them you don't have autonomy over your body.
Right.
You are going to have to live with this constant fear of litigation, you know, just because of your period,
You
or
have
because
someone.
you might want contraceptive, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So they're creating this Gen Z movement that is happening, and I don't think it's going to go well for them in the near future.
But do you also hear them talking about how they want to raise the age of voting again?
Well, that's why they want to do it, because they
Yeah.
see what's coming. They're
Yes.
reading the tea leaves,
Yes.
and
Which the Democratic Party needs to start doing.
well,
Read
they
the
can't.
mother tea leaves.
Yeah, they're
It's
incapable.
about time.
Like I said, they're
The Democratic Party is the clean coal of politics right now. Okay, this is what's happening. This is where their heads are at. They're not focused on what they need to be actually going after. And I get it. It's messaging. You have what you have, but you literally could have had this conversation with Joe coming in 4 years ago and saying, "All right, you are the bridge. You are the last piece of the Obama administration that we loved and that we thought so much fondly of to have this victory. Now we need to get younger leadership in here. Let's train them. Let's get them up and running. Let's go."
Yeah.
And then we set them off. You're the launch pad. He would be a great first president.
Yeah. I like what Saucy said here. It's concerning seeing Democrats fold at the first sign of adversity. It won't matter who the Democrats have if people don't get out to vote. They are focusing on the wrong problem. Amen to that.
Absolutely right.
It's just like I said, I'm an independent, and I'm showing way more loyalty to Donald. Holy shit. Cut that.
That's gonna be my clip.
Yeah, it's gonna be your clip. But I'm showing, more loyalty to Joe Biden and his administration than Democrats are.
Absolutely.
We have one here in Arizona.
And that's what the
Raul
polling said. That's what the
Yeah.
polling said from this debate. It
Yeah,
came out.
we've got
Independence.
a Dem representative here in Arizona, Grijalda. He came out and said that Biden should drop out. It's just like, shut up, stop it. You guys this is stupid. We are 100 today. In case you guys don't have a calendar,
Yeah.
today is July 5th. The election is November 5th. Now, that's about 120 days, unless there's a couple of months with 31 days in it. So give or take a few days. We're 120 days out from this election.
Right.
Stop playing stupid games.
Yeah. And let's
Okay?
let's
Joe
think about
Biden
this.
is an incumbent president. Statistically speaking, pulling him out right now would be stupid.
Yeah.
And then who are you going to put in there? Because you're not just going to have to ask Joe Biden to step aside. You're going to have to ask Kamala to step aside too.
Right.
So who are you going to put in there? Gretchen Whitmer, maybe?
Gavin Newsom. I mean,
how-
it's going to be a lot of infighting. It's going to be a lot of infighting.
And you're going to
And-
do that in
and you know
100.
what?
So going back to what we were just saying,
Yeah.
you would have to have the party, the Democratic Party, who can't come together to decide what kind of salad dressing they fucking want. You would have to get them to be organized enough
Right.
to get somebody like Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom or whoever you want to plug into the equation into and viable by November 5th.
And this
The
isn't
party is
turnkey,
not that organized.
but it's not turnkey either. It's not just you're
No.
plucking out Biden and then putting. No, there's
It's
going to
not.
be disruption within there. People are going to drop out. Now
Yep.
you're going to have to fill ranks. It's really interesting. And you and I had this conversation off the mic, where it was one of those situations of nobody's going to want to jump into this seat and be like, now I have to build my entire administration.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Unless
Yeah.
it was the keys given to somebody, which I don't know if Biden's going to be able to do that. If he's going to literally sit there and be like, I'm picking this person to take over my place and skip Kamala, which will then Kamala would have to take a back seat and say, for the rights of the country, not party, for the right of the country, I'm going to take a step back because we need to defeat Donald Trump. I see too high of egos in all this.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And I was having this discussion with a friend of mine who's very, very plugged in to politics. And he was kind of saying, the same thing, that Kamala would have to step aside and do it for the better of the part, however you want to look at it, better of the country or the better of the party.
It's not the party. It's better of the country.
But they would have to, they would still have to keep her involved. Like, you're not just going to boot Kamala out of the VP role and not have her in some type of position. But then the question for me is, okay, but where do you move Kamala? Like you said, she's going to have to
Supreme Court.
That's about the only move that would, I would think, that would appease her appetite.
Right.
Of where do I fit
and may it
into
be
this?
Clarence Thomas's ass. Ooh,
That
may
would
it be
that
him.
would be great, wouldn't it?
And the reason why I say that is because he replaced the first black Supreme Court justice,
Stop
which I
it.
thought was a weird way that conservatives think.
Yeah.
I'm going to replace the first black with another black that's going to pull up the ladder behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, man, ain't that the truth? But stop it. Don't tease me with that. I just got visuals of Kamala Harris and Ketanji Brown Jackson just like strolling down the hallway together.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Just going to see each other. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You heard Robert talking that
You ready
bullshit?
for this today?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
But,
no,
I mean, look, anything is possible, but at the same time, it's like this is the situation we're looking at as of today. Anything can change in a week. Anything can change in a month. Anything can happen. The only way that it does happen, though, is if Biden wants to let it happen. And that's something everybody has to get behind.
Yep.
It's on him. This
Yep.
man has given his life to this country. He has given his son to this country. He has
Yep.
given his family to this country. It's on his terms.
His family's given a lot.
It's on his terms. End of
Yep.
story. And that's it. If you guys can't give him the leeway to make a decision that he wants to make, if he wants to go down this path,
Yep.
I'm just saying that the moment has passed for us to be so critical of this. It should have happened
Should have
back
happened.
at the
Amen.
beginning and talking about what the bridge of what he would be bringing to the table. Make it
Amen.
a one-term presidency, and then you build the future from that. Great, we're all on the same page, but they don't think that way. And here we are. Here
Yeah.
we are.
And I want to point this out too, because I feel like this particular fact is being missed by a lot of people, because you keep talking about Kamala Harris, and let's move Kamala Harris there. Okay, guys, when we're voting for an administration. Okay,
Yes.
you know, especially the second time. You know, we vote for somebody the first time. You hope they're going to put together a good administration. You hope they're going to fulfill 50% of the campaign promises they laid out in their platform. But we're voting for more than that. You're voting for Kamala Harris. You're voting for the administration. If something happens to Joe Biden, it's Kamala Harris who steps in.
That's right.
So, like, stop with this nonsense. We have a fail-safe in place. I know it's morbid to talk about, but let's fucking talk about it.
Right.
If God forbid, and it wouldn't be the first time it's happened, but God forbid, something happens to Joe Biden, there is Kamala Harris in place for a reason. What should scare the hell out of a lot of you is that the next person in line is Speaker Mike Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That should be what terrifies you. Because
Right.
if they get rid of Biden, they'll try to boot Kamala and move him in.
Yes,
I guarantee it.
Yes, I would.
But
And
my
here's-
point. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to add this to what you're saying about the administration side.
Yeah.
Look at how advanced Biden's administration is. How young Pete Buttigieg, right? Like future.
He's built a younger administration, and I think that goes unnoticed.
That's leapfrogs ahead of who was Trump's administration in the past. All old men,
Yep. And
none of
pretty much
them,
all white
44 of
people.
them, and 44 of them will not be voting for Trump this year.
Yes.
They
In
do
the-
not back him as becoming president for this year.
In the
His
fine
actual administration, old
In-
administration.
in the fine words of Michael Douglas, he pointed that out in a great video and said, it's very telling that Joe Biden's administration, for all intents and purposes, is still fairly intact from the way it started 4 years ago,
Yeah.
minus a few departures like Jen Psaki and a few others. When you look at Donald Trump's administration and the turnover that he had during that administration, and the fact that very few, if anybody, that was on his administration will back him or support him for this election, not only that, they won't work with him again. They
Right.
don't want anything to do with him, and they won't vote for him.
I
That
mean,
should
the
tell
fact-
you everything you need to know.
The fact that Scaramucci has become now the tagline of like how long you've worked somewhere, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Insane.
What is this? Oh my god. I totally forgot that was his name. That's scary. Pornhub Mike is third in line again.
Hey, if Project 2025 has its way, there'll be no porn for anybody. So here we go.
Yeah.
These crazies.
Don't remind me.
I know.
But anyway, speaking of Democrats, I wanted to give a shout out to Occupy Democrats.
Yes.
They used one of my tweets or quote of mine and put it out on their site. So it said, "My daughter has fewer rights today than the day she was born. She's 10. That's why I'm voting for President Joe Biden."
This is
so
the
just
kind of
wanted to give
Democrat
you,
I want to see, just so you know. This is the kind of person running for a Democratic seat I want to see.
I mean,
That type of attitude on blast. They picked a badass picture of you, all right?
I know that was a good one, wasn't it?
I said...
I don't know where they got that one because I don't have it.
Bro, they looked you up. They got you on Canon camera. But I love that they painted you the right way. Put it back up. Put it back up.
Oh.
They painted you the right way where it's right there. Ryan Shead, veteran. Tucson, Arizona. Like, that's how that should be seen. That right
Yeah.
there is for your brothers. That's right there for your sisters in arms. Like, they need to see that. And that's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, I appreciate them, using their platform to amplify me. Like we always say, man. We don't get where we are alone.
Right.
It's everybody sharing our stuff and paying attention. So to see organizations like that are trying to get the message out, and see other social media people sharing our stuff, it's just it's very humbling, to be honest with you. So
Right.
just thank you, and thanks again to Occupy Democrats. I know it's just tough for everybody right now that's trying to fight the fight. And if you guys are feeling the way that I am, just keep fighting. I say that a lot, but it's real, man. The days where we don't feel like getting up, the days where we don't feel like fighting, those are the days we have to get up. Those are the days we have to fight. Those are the most important days. Because the goal is to get us to just throw our hands up and say, I'm just not going to vote.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of that out there too. And we need to stop that. That's not a good message. That's not a good option.
Right.
And it's not going to help anybody. The more voices that are heard, the better. Whether
Yeah.
it's the voice you want or the other side. But with everybody voting, what we can't say is that, oh, well, we weren't heard. Yeah, you were, because you went out and you did your vote, just
Right.
like the rest of us did. So, if you're frustrated, I understand. I'm frustrated too. If you're angry, I understand. I'm angry too. But we cannot give up. We cannot lose sight of who Donald Trump is. We cannot lose sight of how bad things were under his administration, as much
Right.
as they want to try to whitewash it as they do. The fact is that we were loading dead bodies into trucks, freezer trucks. We didn't have toilet paper. We didn't know if there was going to be food on the shelves.
Unemployment skyrocketed.
He added $8 trillion to our national debt in 4 years, which
Yep.
was, at that point, it basically doubled.
And half of that was not even due to COVID.
Yeah, half of it was, he was 4.8 billion or trillion into the
Trillion.
deficit before
That's
COVID
right.
even hit.
That's correct.
And if he's such a great businessman, how come he couldn't accomplish what Bill Clinton did, which was to get the country into the black? Because I thought that was what Donald Trump was going to promise us to do, is that he could run every business and he knows better than everybody, and he was going to get America back into the black. Not only did he not do that, he sucked us dry,
Right.
in case you didn't notice. He was charging Secret Service obscene amounts of money to
Top
stay on
dollar.
his properties every time you went there, which, if you didn't notice, was pretty much every freaking day. So
Everywhere.
he
Everywhere.
literally milked this country, and you guys want to put him, some of these people want to put him back in power? Are you insane?
Yeah.
You're angry about the money that's going over to fight a war? Instead, by the way, that's the one thing that Mike Johnson was right about. And I'd rather send money and resources and ammunition over there than our fucking soldiers.
Right.
So how about y'all get on board with that? All right. But you want to put somebody back in there? You're worried about the money we send over to stop Russia? I'm worried about the money they're putting in his pocket. I'm worried about the money that you're giving him to pay his legal bills.
That's right.
Like the fact that we are even having this conversation about, oh, Joe Biden should step down. No, the fucking felon should step down. The sexual abuser should step down. The accused pedophile should step down. The 26-time accused sexual abuser and assaulter should step down. The guy that we've got on tape saying that he can grab women by the pussy because he's famous, that's the dude that you should be demanding step down. The guy that has committed fraud so many times that it literally fills up an entire fucking spreadsheet on Excel, that's the guy you should be asking to step down. Not the lifelong public servant who's gone through things that most families just wouldn't even think of, and still managed to show up to work every day and fight for the American people. And even in the face of all this shit, even in the face of his kids being attacked, he's still out here doing his job, and he's still going to run again because he thinks that that's what's best for the country. And I've got news for you. Statistically speaking, it is what's best for the country. He's gotten a lot done. You may not agree with all of it. I sure as hell don't. But he has gotten a lot done, a hell of a lot better than Trump, and I don't want to give Trump back the keys to the White House. So whoever you are that needed to hear this 2-minute rant, please get your head on straight before we make a horrible, horrible mistake that we cannot come back from.
My man. Amen, Ryan. That's what I'm saying to you. Kaylin said that you need to check something out. Red alert. So you need to check that.
But I'm live on TikTok. What?
Yeah, she said, Ryan, there's comments on X under the show. If you can, if I should drop a screenshot, and then she wants me to ask you. So
text it to me.
I dropped a screenshot.
Why?
She said,
See, why has everybody just gotta? We the people are not abandoning President Biden.
But I think what you said there, as you're reading it, I'll just keep going. What you're touching on is the fact that what we saw at that debate, you had a man who lied his ass off, and no one's even holding him accountable. Everybody's just talking about the age of how Biden literally spoke and talked about statistical data of trying to remember certain facts. If Biden was just old and senile, here's the number one thing I took from that debate. He was remembering questions through all the bullshit that Trump was just spewing. The cognizant thought of him to go back and circle around as Trump was just rambling about whatever border crisis that he helped to really kind of bring into fruition that we see it today by telling every Republican to not vote for a Republican bill. Which, mind you, I was talking to one of my Republican colleague friends, and he told me that the bill that was there was never really about the border. And he goes, it was 0 to nothing. It was mostly about Ukraine and Israel and spending tons of billions over there. And then he brought up the bill and it said $20 billion for the border wall. And I go, $20 billion? Sounds like a lot more than zero.
Yep. It's about half what Trump was trying to spend. Trump wanted $44 billion.
It was right there for the fence. For a fence.
For the fence.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and then the jobs it was going to create, everything that was border patrol and everything else that was there. But regardless, it was a Republican bill that they destroyed, so he could run on it, right?
Yeah.
So you have all this rambling and all this incoherent bullshit coming out of Trump's mouth, and yet the news media is all talking about how Biden just didn't deliver, and it's like he literally was remembering the question and coming back full circle
when we couldn't.
We couldn't even do it. I literally, on air in the show, I'm like, what was the original question? And here's Biden. First off, let me have a rebuttal for this asshole. And then back to your original question, Jake. I was like, you have to write off the cognizant.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That should have been highlighted more. The fact that he was able to keep up and remember the questions.
If you read the transcript, not even watch the show, read the transcript of Biden and Trump. They said Biden's answers were actually really sharp, and they attacked Trump numerous times.
Yep. It was just, I like what you said. It's like people didn't expect to see an 80-year-old man at the podium. Like, yeah, he's 80, But again, the one thing I feel like too many people are not talking about is we are not just voting for Joe Biden.
No.
We are voting for his administration, and his administration has proven to do a pretty darn good job so far.
They've gotten more done.
They've done enough to earn another 4 years.
They've gotten more done than the administration before them with the same lines in Congress, meaning that same split.
Yep, you're right.
they've gotten more accomplished.
Yep.
Now, may that
Well,
be
I mean-
on Nancy Pelosi versus on Pornhub Mike? I don't know.
But even under Mike Johnson, though, there's been a couple of big deals done. You know,
Because
he's
Biden
pissed,
knows how to negotiate.
you know, and even like I said, even Mike Johnson, that was what he said when they were holding his feet to the fire for why did he vote for the money to go to Ukraine?
Yeah.
And he said, listen, when it comes down to it, I'd rather send ammunition and money than our soldiers. And it was the best comment I'd ever seen. And it was like, yes, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
do you know how much it costs to send soldiers?
Yeah.
And then you're going to use their deaths, God forbid, if we lose some, you're going to use them as political platforms. So it's just the things that people are willing to use to justify voting for a felon and a fraud and a sexual abuser and an accused pedophile, you know, and just an overall narcissist. The things that people are willing to justify it with, it's been very eye-opening for me. Even at 42 years old, it's been very eye-opening.
It really
Sadly.
is. It's telling.
So let's get on to the serious stuff now. So Project 2025.
Yeah.
I think we're going to start devoting a little more time to talking about it on the show every week leading up to the election.
Okay.
You know, we keep talking about what should we be talking about instead of, you know, all this nonsense that isn't going to go anywhere, get us anywhere. You know, we need to be talking about Project 2025 because it's real. It's real and it's scary.
No joke. It's no joke.
You know, we're going to talk about it a little bit here, but again, I challenge you, don't just listen to us. Go Google it for yourself. Project 2025. There's a website. You can read the whole document yourself. It's like 900 pages. I will be honest with you, I've not read all the pages. I've read the highlights. So
You can
know,
hear
hell,
the Heritage
it may
Foundation.
be maybe even worse than what I've seen.
Yeah. But you can hear them
so-
speaking about it now. It's on the news. It's on MSNBC. Like, it's actually now breaking into mainstream media,
Well,
which shows you it's not the fringe of being just some QAnon conspiracy shit. It's
absolutely.
now bubbling over into the arena.
Well, I actually have a video that I want to share because I think it's terrifying. And, you know, of course, this is just a clip. And the reason that I'm using this clip, I think you'll understand. Pay attention to the very end, what he says at the very end. And if that doesn't terrify you, then I don't know.
Speak about the radical left. You and I have both been parts of faculties and faculty senates and understand that the left has taken over our institutions. The reason that they are apoplectic right now, the reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
I think of you when I hear that quote. And I think
When
God,
you see me, you like choking him out till
and
he goes to
I
sleep.
think of you, and I think of your wife, and I think of one simple fact of like, good luck against this liberal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they really do think they own all the cops. They think they own all of the militias. They think they own all of those who are in the that are serving.
Yes.
And it's really interesting to me where that's in their heads that this is what they got, which makes me think that they have been communicating for a number of years with militias. So they can have this kind of stance where they can, to be so brazen on TV or in this podcast, whatever. I don't know if that was Steve Bannon's podcast where that came from, but to speak like that and to not hesitate to choose your words carefully. Because you are trying to start a civil war. And nobody can say, oh, well, you're just making this up. You guys over there on
It's
Hold
right
the Mic.
there. It's on video.
You guys, literally, we're calling you out.
Yep.
And for the fact that you are encouraging this, in being the Heritage Foundation is encouraging this.
Yeah.
I would like to see a president with unlimited power flex.
Yes, I would love it. I would love
I would
it.
love to see the birthing of a dictatorship where they are trying to start a coup, right?
Yep.
This coup in attacking what our democracy is, and in the name of the Stars Spangled Banner, stripes, bald eagles, and everything that holds us dear, apple pie, come down with such dark Brandon energy.
Telling you. Just drop it
and
on
just
the table.
and just let it be known.
Yep.
Just let it be known
Like a big dick in a locker room.
that the Supreme Court gave me that you were worried about Trump. Here I am. I'm the
Yep.
one who knocks.
Yep.
Like, let Biden show that to this.
And like you said, behind closed doors, I think he's still fully capable of doing that. You know, I still stand by. I think they over prepped the hell out of him.
Yes.
You know, the hoarse voice, I don't think that was from being sick. I think it was from them over prepping him. He was doing too much talking during the prep. He was tired. You know, they should have focused more on, hey, this is an 80-year-old guy. Let's make sure he gets some sleep and his voice sounds strong.
Look
and
how he sounded in North Carolina 24 hours
24
later.
hours later. You know,
Vibrant.
yeah, it was just interesting. But the kicker is, so the Project 2025 is scary. But what's even more interesting is that Donald Trump came out today and he said, I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. Now,
So keep that up. Keep that up. So the
Okay.
very first sentence, I know nothing about Project 2025. All right? Now just go down a little bit longer right there, and then he contradicts himself.
I wish them luck.
That's what we will get for 4 years.
Yep.
Absolute nothing burgers, and they will do everything they want and take everything from you.
Yep. So, and I just, yeah. It's terrifying what is happening. And what I fear is that there's too many people that aren't able to pay attention. And what I mean by that is everybody's so busy. Everybody's busy working, you know, a full-time job, 12-hour shift, 6 days a week, maybe 2 jobs, you know, just to make ends meet. It's like they keep people in poverty so that they have to work so much that they don't have time to pay attention to the fact that they're getting screwed every day. And me being able to pay attention because I have the time, it's like, wow, I feel like this is not being talked about enough. I feel like people aren't paying attention to this. And a prime example. So, what is this? I think Alex Jones. Alex Jones has an exclusive contract with Elon Musk and Twitter. He is being paid by Elon Musk to do his show on Twitter exclusively. And he said this is a fantastic development. And he retweeted a video of President Vladimir Putin of Russia saying he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously and Russia supports it. So this dude's literally pushing Russian propaganda to try to get Trump reelected. But he's not the only one.
Hey, Ryan, I'm going to go and put on my tin hat and say, part of me feels like this war started because Trump wasn't in office, because he's in cahoots.
Yeah.
Let me say the quiet part out loud.
This wouldn't have happened if Trump was in office. You know, shit, because this was the plan.
Trump's like, start a war, and then I'll use that to get back in power.
Simon Ateba, he's a White House correspondent.
Yeah.
He said, breaking, Vladimir Putin says he supports Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine, says Trump has not detailed how he intends to end the war, but he supports the idea. Like, the fact
Did
that
you read what Zelensky's response was?
No, I didn't.
You got a plan, Trump? Put it on the table.
Yeah, right. Just like his healthcare plan that
put it on the table.
We never heard. Yeah.
Let me hear your plan. Put it on the table. Let me hear what your peace looks like.
But now let me ask you this. If you saw Donald Trump's plane sitting next to a Russian embassy plane on the Dulles tarmac, would that concern you?
I would just think someone's getting a golden shower. Mile High Club, piss parties.
Oh my God. No, that's how it
Lovely.
ends. That's how it ends.
Hey,
They have
man,
to.
I'm
They have to
not.
talk. They have to talk
I'm
business
not
first.
participating with that fat fuck, so I don't know.
But one of the things I also challenge, I would like to challenge our listeners and supporters to do is go research Project 25, particularly what they plan on doing with veterans. If you have a veteran in your life, if you have an active military personnel in your life, if you have somebody that is planning to go in the military, you need to read what they're planning to do.
Yeah.
They want to gut our VA resources. They want to change the disability requirements so that it's even harder to get. And just in case I have to, in case you haven't been following me for a long time, it took me over 4 years to get my benefits, and it took 2 appeals, hiring a lawyer. Like, it was not easy, and they want to make it even harder.
Right.
Like, there's several resources that they want to take away from active military and veterans. So I ask you, please, please, go read up on this, because this is not just Donald Trump's agenda. This is the extreme right's agenda, and they are in the middle of implementing several of these things. This is not the left wing. This is not Democrats, all losing their minds over nothing. This is very real. They are already implementing some of these things. It's right there for us all to see. We cannot afford to ignore this going
And let's
into
touch on a
November.
couple of things. They made being homeless illegal in cities.
Yes.
It is
Supreme
illegal
Court just
for
did.
you to, which is part of this whole this process.
Yep.
The rolling back on women's health care, abortions.
Yes.
This is part of their process. They want to remove the language of abortion. They want it to be known that getting an abortion is not medical health care.
Yeah.
Because they do not understand this. This is some of the most ignorant people who have an agenda, who are trying to control you.
Yep.
And this is where I am asking, and I'm begging all the women in America, pay attention, because you are on the chopping block.
Yep.
And the biggest thing about when you look at news media in smaller towns, and you look at the fact that it's owned by a conglomerate, and they're all being fed a script.
Yeah.
No one's talking about this, and you need to take it upon yourself to ask your friends, ask your peers, ask your family members, do they know about this, and are they aware of it? And you need to bring that information to them.
Yep.
And try to get them to understand between now and election what is down the pipeline. Because here's the thing too, Ryan. If Trump fails and the system works, and we see another 4 years of growth under Biden and his administration,
Mm-hmm.
and we see a very fruitful future for America, this shit doesn't die with Trump.
No.
This is something that then lingers to the next election.
Yes.
Because this is what they're trying to instill.
This is a movement.
the
It's
cancer.
not just about one person.
That's
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
That's right. This is what is there, and we need to be very aware, and we need to be very prepared for this.
I agree.
It's not a victory on November 6th if Biden's name is called. That's where the real work starts, because it's one of those things where you need to understand this is festering in the belly of America.
Yep. So before we move on, though, I just wanted to drive home, like you said, educating. Shout out to Subvert Quo on Twitter. If you're over there, go give them a follow. Another good account if you're into Trump bashing, and but not just bashing. They, as you can see, they bring receipts. So a lot of the people that were on the board for this, a lot of the authors, like Jonathan Barry, served as chief counsel for the Trump transition. We had Adam, what is that? Candweb. He was Attorney General at the Justice Department during the Trump administration. Benjamin Carson Sr., we all know who that is. Ken Cuccinelli served as Acting Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services in 2019. And then from November 2019 through the end of Trump's administration, was acting deputy secretary for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Rick Dearborn served as deputy chief of staff for President Donald Trump. They're responsible for the day-to-day operations of 5 separate departments of the executive branch of the president. These are the people that are the architects of Project 2025, and Donald Trump wants us to think that he doesn't know any of them. Like this, they keep going.
There you go.
There's
There
more.
you go. There you go.
There's so many people in here.
From his
More than half the people that are involved with this
That's right.
had a direct connection to Donald Trump during his presidency, and you want us to believe that he doesn't know anything about this?
Right. And they probably go to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, I
There it
guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So it's
And
just. Go ahead.
No, take it.
No, I was just going to say it's crazy to me that we have to keep doing this. That we have to keep talking about Donald Trump, that we have to keep bringing these receipts. And it's like, even after seeing these, they're still going to look at you and me and say, oh, they're just a bunch of libtards or whatever
Right.
they're
Right.
going to use. You know, or they're going to
No.
say,
Oh, I didn't
Ryan's
even read
bald.
about that.
Yeah, Ryan's bald
Fake
and
news.
Ian's hairline and, you know, their beards suck and, you know, but they're never going to answer the question.
Right.
They're never going to have a response.
No.
And it's literally just, so you fully support this. You support everything I just said, and I'm the asshole. Got it.
No, they have their own agenda, which is, I had better taxes with whatever the case is. They
Better
find
taxes.
they find their bullshit ass response. They play dumb. They have their head in their sand. There's nothing past that.
Yeah, I got that one.
You know, there's nothing past that.
No.
But it's one of those things, you know, where you look at it where you're not going to win that argument with anybody. All you can do is just try to put the actual information out there.
Yeah.
And it's just like that debate. You have bullshit on one side, and then you have someone who's just trying to give data.
Yeah.
Here's what we've done. Here's what's happening. Here's what we could be doing.
Yep.
And then it's more bullshit. And it's like, okay, do you want to have that debate with somebody? That's the reality.
Yeah,
Know when to cut your losses.
for sure.
Because in the end, it is a strong, 39% that are his base. You're never going to change their minds.
No.
They would go to jail with him. That's where they're
Yes.
at.
And for him.
And for him.
For him.
And for him.
Yeah.
You know. But I do want to take a minute to say that we have 3,000 plus followers on this show. You know, look, guys, it's Friday night here on Hold the Mic. You guys can be anywhere, and you're here with us. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. You guys really do make this show. I love seeing everything that's happening in the chat. Kaylin, we always love you. You are definitely always holding us down. And a number of our favorites that pop up every Friday. We see you. Just know that we really do love conversing with you guys and the topics you guys bring to us. But like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and stay around for more shenanigans.
Yeah, for sure. And just wanted to also give a shout out to all the countries that are listening to us. So Canada and Ireland, Australia are accounting for over 10% of our podcast downloads now.
That's what's up, man.
So Australia, France, UK, New Zealand, India, Netherlands, Portugal. You know, just the fact that you guys download us in different countries and listen to us. You know, just want you to know that we see that you're downloading. We see you guys.
This is how they get us safe.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who you are. I'd love for you to What did it say?
This is how they get a safe taste of America without getting shot.
Yeah, without.
That's all I was gonna say. We got some American culture. No one shot at us.
Yeah, that's all.
There it
That's
is.
all we need. But no, you know, we don't know who you are. I'd love to know who you guys are in the comment sections. Introduce yourselves. We'd love to talk to you. Tucson, Arizona is our biggest city. Not seeing enough Michigan people on here. Waterford, Michigan, but no Royal Oak peeps.
Hey, man. Hey, it's the reason why we left it.
That's funny. Okay. So let's move on to the judge postponing Trump's sentencing for his hush money.
I love it.
I
love it.
Why?
I love it. I love all of this. Everything that is happening, I have literally been sitting and waiting for. Everything. From the Supreme Court's dropping this nothing burger. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
All it's saying is, you know, yes, when he does president shit, it's presidential, and when he doesn't, it's personal. Like, everybody knows that. The one thing I got from that ruling was that Republicans had to hear that.
Okay. Now here's my question for you.
Yes, sir.
How much faith do you have in the Supreme Court, or more vaguely, the judicial system incorrectly interpreting what is personal and what is prejudicial business for Trump.
I don't think that there's any way that they're going to mistake that. They're gonna weigh down in his favor every chance they get for being originalists and reading literally Jefferson's text about no president is immune, and then being like, well, I do question that, what he was trying to say. It's like, no. You are just also conspiracy theorists and doing your own bullshit. Not only did you guys rule out that you can accept gifts, which makes me think, so Bob Mendez is innocent now because he has Egyptian gold in his pockets. So what are we doing here?
Yep.
He got gifts.
Those kind of things only apply to liberals and Democrats.
But see, this is where we're gonna have to ask the question: does he get off scot-free now? Which also is like, okay, but I don't agree with that because I don't want these seats for sale, right? In the end.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I think that wouldn't that be kind of like the lobbyist conversation?
But this is where we have to have that conversation.
But
right?
I'm just asking. I'm like, that would kind of fall under, because I think lobbying is
it's a revolving door.
It's legal bribery. Period.
Right. It's a revolving door, though.
Yeah.
Of people jumping out. And, I mean, even with them having stock trades, it's like, how can you vote on this shit? But then also, didn't you guys send Martha Stewart to jail for this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, what are we doing here? So regardless of all that, all these things have happened that I've been paying attention to that I thought were going to happen. And this is why I say I'm loving it. Because they put it back down on Chutkin in D.C.
Yeah.
And this is for her case. This is the one that's taking place in Washington, D.C. about the documents, January 6th, and how all that transpired.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have a hearing in September, October.
Yeah, but this is for the hush money, though, isn't it?
No. For what this one is. So I apologize. I'm getting to the whole case of all of it because this was pushed back because of the Supreme Court.
Right.
So because of the Supreme Court, which was due to the D.C. trial, right? This is the reason why it all went to the Supreme Court was the D.C. trial, the immunity.
For the hush money.
No. The hush money is New York, and the hush money, he's postponing it, yes, because of the Supreme Court now.
Right.
But the reason we had that Supreme Court hearing was due to D.C.'s case with Jack Smith.
Okay.
Back in December, Jack Smith said, can we just get to the end and let's just have a ruling on this?
Yeah.
December 2023.
Yep.
They said, no, it has to go through the court system. It went through the court system, got to them. They said, we're going to wait to the very last day to give you an answer. They gave us the answer that we all knew they were going to give us, 6-3.
Yep.
We're with Trump. We got the gold J6s on. We're with Trump, right? That was going to trigger this going back to Chutkin, and Chutkin is going to have a hearing in roughly around September, October. That hearing is going to be about everything that could possibly come out that is personal. The whole point of her hearing, which is not a trial, her hearing is to find out what's personal, what's presidential. Here's what's going to be the kicker. When does someone stop becoming the president? Is it after they lose the election, or is it on the January 20th where they're sworn in or sworn out? This is going to come up for debate.
I mean, they're president the minute they're sworn in, and they are no longer president the minute that the new president's sworn in.
Correct. But when you lose being a president, like Trump lost November, like, okay, you lost the election. Here we are in November.
Yep.
We know Biden will be the president. He's the president-elect.
Yes.
He is now receiving information and
security briefings and stuff.
Security briefing, everything. All that stuff starts coming in. So now you technically are receiving things. You're president-elect.
Yes.
Can trials and court cases go up into almost January, or does everything have to stop at November 5th? So all these things are kind of triggering now, right? This is all sparking conversation. Like, look at you. You're like,
that part's interesting.
Oh, so here we go. We're opening up this, Pandora's box. So with the New York hush money case, it only brings satisfaction that they're going to bring it into September because now everything is going to butt up to the election.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they're not going to have it all sorted by the election. Not that it's really gonna matter. They'll still
he
vote
was
for
found
him.
guilty by his peers here in
By
New
a
York,
jury,
and
right.
by a jury of his peers, and the only thing that's happening is him sentencing.
Yeah.
From that sentencing, which if he was to do it this week or next week as he was supposed to, the 11th, think about the shit show that would be coming out of that for whatever they during the Trump, blah, 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 whatever. And then the appeals and this and that and the third. He's bringing it up to September to do this, where all this will be very fresh on voters' minds of
Yeah.
how he's being tried.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is a lot of weight is being put on the fourth quarter, final stretch of this election.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, everybody that I talk to right now, every single person I talk to, we all have this sick feeling in our stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that pit in our stomach that this could go very badly. And if it does, we're in trouble.
What do they say about high risk?
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is a very dangerous game.
Well, I mean, it definitely is, but I don't know if I'd characterize it as that.
Jack Smith is not one that I think is just sitting here twiddling his fingers. He wanted this back in December.
I'm going to say the same thing I said, a year ago. There's no way that Jack Smith and the other prosecutors that have gone after him do it without knowing that they've got, a hammer to hit him over the head with.
Right.
Like you don't put your career on the line. You don't put your name on the line to go after a president, or a former president, whatever you want to call him. You don't do that unless you've got a pretty darn good shot,
right.
of making it.
What's that saying about going for the king? You best not miss.
You best not miss. And Jack Smith, to me, we talked about the case down in Georgia and how that was kind of messed up. But Jack Smith, man, he's like a sniper, dude. He just doesn't play around.
No.
And that's what we need. We need somebody that's like, these are the facts.
Like Georgia dropped the ball.
Take your feelings out of it.
Right.
And this is what factually happened. And factually speaking, this is what needs to legally happen next.
Right.
And that he is the type of guy that we need delivering that message.
Georgia dropped the ball with their RICO case where they did not realize they were going up against some heavy hitter New Yorkers who do this for a living, who eat lawyers like them, prosecutors like them for breakfast.
I will say those kind of like she paid for her own dinner when they went out. Like
you don't give them anything.
I know. No, you're
you
right.
Don't get where do they find anything on Jack Smith? They said my man eats at Subway and he looks homeless. That's Jack Smith. He ain't giving you nothing. Giving you nothing.
You know what he is? He's the Keanu Reeves of our judicial system. No, Keanu Reeves looks like a bum walking around the streets eating a fucking ice cream cone by himself.
That's what he's doing. I'm telling you.
But he's like the nicest guy. Like,
yeah. I don't know Jack Smith, so I can't speak for who he is as a person. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, he ain't giving you nothing. Like you said, if he was one of those dudes that had a lot of skeletons in his closets, I guarantee you we'd have known it by now.
And that's what I'm saying, and that's why it pisses off Trump. Yeah. And the thing that is very intriguing is with Florida's case. Have you noticed that she just hasn't had any rulings at all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's a joke.
But she hasn't had any rulings because she doesn't want to get put back on with the 11th Circuit. Because if she gets a couple more strikes, they're going to pull her. Something's going to happen, and not in her favor, right?
Yep.
So it's really interesting that she's just sitting on everything. She hasn't made one judgment about anything. All these hearings have been lined up, and she's saying she's backlogged, and she can't get to all of it, but she won't write things off. She won't say that's a bullshit argument, not doing it, struck that down. She won't make any judgment about anything. And that's her delay tactic.
Yeah.
She, at the beginning, was making judgments, and then she got struck down by Jack Smith because she got called out. Yep. Jack's not playing around. And there's other questions about how they could strike this down altogether and then, like, revamp a new case. But they're like, that's going to take way too much more time. And it doesn't matter. Now we're at where we're at. So I do think with Chutkin in D.C., what originally led to the Supreme Court's decision, I think this is what's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of things coming out.
Yeah.
Leading up to the election.
Speaking of other court cases, we've heard a lot about the Jeffrey Epstein lists and information and court cases and what was supposed to come out. And the right wing has been hitting Democrats and liberals over the head with shovels for a good year or so now, saying, well, the list needs to come out and the information needs to come out because, we're sure that it's a bunch of Democrats on the list. Well, some of the more information came out, and let's just say it doesn't look real good for Trump. They literally have message pads with Trump's phone numbers and dates and times that he was calling. Now, these are the same message pads and the same handwriting of the person that would take messages for the massages and, get the girls to come over. Same pads, same writing. Now, those were from 2004, just full disclosure. But there was a lot of other stuff, too. Like, how many times did he come up on the flight logs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times was he listed? He's all over this.
Yeah.
And it like even more is coming out. And if you have paid any attention to anybody that is ever, I don't know if I want to use the word lying, but you know how, like, when you talk to somebody and you know that, oh, you just got them, like you just got them.
Hand in the cookie jar?
Yeah. Now this is Donald Trump's response when they asked if he would declassify various federal files and other things like the JFK assassination and 9/11. He quickly said yes. But when he was asked about the Epstein files, this was how he responded.
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these. Yeah. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
Wow.
9/11, yeah. JFK, I'm with you. Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. Well.
Damn.
So,
that's damning right there.
It really is. Because, I mean, anybody be like, oh, yeah, sure.
That's a red
and
flag.
And move on.
Saucy, put the red flag up. Saucy, that's a red flag.
But when you start tap dancing, then there's a lot of stuff in there. You shouldn't believe everything that comes out of it. Mm-hmm.
Red flag.
Big red flag.
Yeah.
He hesitated.
Oh, yeah.
He hesitated.
Well, I like how he goes, yeah, I would. Well, that Epstein stuff, and it's just like, well,
I don't know Epstein very well.
No, wait a minute. Why you see? But that's the Trump thing. He says one thing and then he says another thing, and they contradict each other. It's
like they cancel each other out, and you're just like,
cancels everything.
Huh?
He's all about the phase-out game. He really is.
Yep.
Wow. And that's the first. You know what? That's the first time I'm seeing that.
Is it?
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't post that. It's been played, all over the place. But then people are like, I didn't see that. It's like,
I see that. And that's and that's something I want to say about this show. There seems like a lot of great, like-minded people, and you know what? And I see you too, all the haters. A lot of people who are open to just information, some fun, some jokes. We can poke fun at each other on at our own parties or our own stances on life. But I really do like seeing a lot of the comments in the sections here because there's a lot of brilliant people that show up to this show.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And Kaylin just hit us up, 4,000 plus. Here we go.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not showing us over here anymore. So yeah, for some reason, Elon Musk is taking away analytics for everybody. Like that bot Sentinel. If you guys watched my my interview with Joey Manarino, I explained what bot Sentinel is. They'll tell you how many bots follow an account.
Yeah.
And he took that away. So now you can't tell how many bots are following somebody's account.
Interesting.
We had a thing that we used to be able to go to tell us like who unfollowed us, who followed us, so that we could manage our following. He took that away. He took that away like 6 months ago. Now he's taken away. People can't block people anymore.
That's your favorite game.
Unless you pay.
But that's your favorite game. You have a bingo card of how many blocks you're getting.
I have 79 right now. 79 that matter.
Look at that smile, that shit-eating grin on your face.
Dude, it's like, they're my badges of honor. I call them my trader trading cards.
I'm really proud of my son. He's a Boy Scout. Oh, what is his latest badge? Getting canceled. Getting blocked. It's like, this is my son Ryan, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my son Ryan.
Would you? No, you really want to see it? Here it is, right here. Carrie Lake, Libs of TikTok, Tizzy, Seth Abramson, Dave Ramsey. Let's see who else.
Oh man, you have them like Pokemon trading cards. Look at you.
You thought I was kidding? Rudy Giuliani, Mr. Andy NGO, Megan McCain, Ali Alexander, Chelsea Hart is me.
Where's your favorite? Where's Flynn? Where's your new VP?
Carrie Flake. Carrie Flake. Oh, that's what I should always call her.
That's a good one.
Carrie Lake War Room. I got blocked not just by her, but her campaign website. Scott Adams, who he was the illustrator for, what was it? What's the cartoon? Somebody help me out. One of the Gina Carano, Ron Filipkowski. Yeah, he's a little fucking snowflake. Stone Kettle, Poppy Trumpo, Cat Turd, Tom Fitton, Dan Bonagino. Let's see.
Kaylin said you got Joel Osteen though.
I don't have Joel Osteen. That fucker will not block me. Roger Stone. I've got Roger Stone, Gunther Eagleman, Real James Woods blocked me.
You and Kaylin, man, are like some Pokemon traders, man. Look at you.
Yep. I'm trying to think. George Santos blocked me.
Was that the Dilbert? Was that the Dilbert illustrator?
Dilbert. Yes, that's the Dilbert guy.
In the group.
General
Kaylin
Flynn
and Saucy with the win.
Yep, General Flynn, Kelly Ward, who was one of the 11 fraudulent electors. She blocked me. Jenna Ellis, Jordan Peterson. I'm proud of that one.
Did Jenna Ellis block you before or after the RICO case?
I think it was she blocked me when I said. I think the comment that got me blocked was, I told her, I said, you better go make your deal before there's no more deals to be made. Yeah, I don't think she liked that one. Okay. Mom for Liberty, Laura Loomer. I have a couple in here. Double. Scott Pressler, that weirdo. Matt Wallace.
My man said I got double.
Tara Ball. Yeah, man.
Where's your boy Flynn?
We already passed him.
General Flynn? Ex-General Flynn?
Yeah, we had him. Where is it?
Your VP, okay.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. So I put out a video about General Flynn being possible, but I don't think I made it sound like it was possible. I don't remember how I said it, but I was really upset because there was like 3/4 of the video was more about like the movement and Trump and we need to support Biden, but people were more interested in trying to drag me. Even though I went and researched it. I went to the site. Yeah. I researched the shit myself, but I guess it was a gag or something. Somebody came out and took credit for it, whatever. But it looked like legit, and I literally screenshot how I got there and everything. So it's like, I'm not purposely trying to mislead anybody. But let's be honest, that would have been, from a campaign standpoint, if they were going to pick him, yesterday would have been the perfect time to announce it.
Yeah.
And can we talk about the fact that we don't know who Trump's VP is yet? Like, isn't it a little like I'm honestly asking because I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember, but isn't it a little weird to be 120 days out and not know who's going to be on the ticket with them?
Yeah, this whole thing is really off.
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong, but it seems weird to me. But yeah, it's.
You bring up a really solid point. Because when he came down that shitty ass escalator back in 2015, Pence was picked pretty fast.
Yeah, see,
pretty fast.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was on the website. Like, I didn't pull it out of my butt, but I guess it's not real. Clearly, they didn't announce it yesterday like I thought they would.
But it does look like something that could be a strong possibility.
Well, here's the thing, like, it'll be really interesting if it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, because so many people are poo-pooing it like, oh, it's not possible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible.
But we talked about this. Trump's a narcissist. He doesn't want anybody who's going to outflank him.
Oh, true. I think it goes back to so truth be told, he doesn't want one, and VP is what Caitlin's talking about. He doesn't want to share the spotlight. He doesn't want anyone who outshines him or has an inch of shine. I agree with that, but I also think that if we're talking about Project 2025 and the things that we've already seen Michael Flynn come out and do and say, he's taken the Q oath and recorded it.
That's right.
He's an extremist. He's a January 6th extremist. And who better to carry out, Project 2025 than somebody like General Flynn?
Right.
So, it's just the sad thing is, whether it's a joke or not, in my mind, it actually makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Right.
And that's like the scary side for me. I'm like, damn, if that, whether I'm right or wrong, if that does happen, like if that is who he ends up picking, holy crap.
That's a very extreme cabinet that's being formed.
That makes this 100 times worse.
I posted
in my eyes.
Yeah, I posted something about and that's kind of on this level on Instagram. I didn't really move it over to TikTok, which I have to blame you for my addiction now to TikTok.
You're welcome.
So thanks. But it said we are here, woke as fuck. March 1933, the Enabling Act becomes law in Germany. And that was the law that passed. That act marked the formal transition of Democratic Republic to a if I could say it, dictatorship. I can't say the word. I'm gonna stumble over that word every day. No, guys, I'm not having a stroke, and no, I'm not having an 80-year-old moment either. So don't fucking cancel me and get a new host. All right, I need this black job.
Oh. Speaking of, they sent me back a letter.
HR?
HR sent me a letter. Apparently, you aren't black enough to fill that qualification. So, do you know anybody or? Come back, we love you.
Gone, baby, gone.
No,
said HR, I'm out. That's gonna be an ongoing joke, just so you guys know.
It really is.
Black jobs are going. But anyways, so I find it interesting, history buff. I want everybody to remember Hitler was voted in, and they quickly took power throughout the whole system. And I really thought about
and remind
this, right?
people, how did it start?
It was a failed a coup attempt. They made
it legal by passing a doctrine. And within, I think it was like 6 months or a year, became a one-party system.
6 months. That's exactly what I failed to say.
So literally, basically, what the Supreme Court just did,
yes,
is basically what the same kind of power they gave Hitler.
Literally, play by
play. Like we're not. Yeah, I wish that was.
Play.
I wish that was hyperbole, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, and that's why this post really hit. It was like, we are here right now, just so everybody knows, just so we all know.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on something. What did somebody else say here? So Stone Kettle, somebody said they used to follow him. There's several people actually that on the left that don't mess with me, and I don't mess with them. So I don't.
You made a video about this.
I made a video about it today or yesterday, I think it was, and I listed out a couple of them. Brad, some other.
Fuck the names. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck them. But it's really disheartening sometimes to see the Liberal Party be so cowardly and not willing to use the same weapons that they're using against us. Yeah. Like, it literally is like they have, AR-15s and, literal fucking machine guns, and we're standing over here with, sticks and rocks. Like, that's literally what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like, we're just over here chucking rocks like, and they're over there with their guns laughing at us like, okay.
Kaylin's roasting you. Don't get canceled, Kaylin.
I didn't block Kaylin's ass. I did not block her. I will say that. I will say that till the day I die. I did not block you, damn it.
Looks like a good inside joke. That's what that is.
No, no, really. She sent me. Well, you were here. Yeah, she came on the show and she was like, "Hey, you blocked me." And I was like, "No, I didn't." And then we went and so then we had to talk, and I was just like, "Holy shit, what the hell happened?" Yeah, it was weird.
Elon's messing with you. That's what it is.
I have a thing on my account that says I'm the most censored man on the left, which I'm sure there's other people on the left that are censored more than me, but I'm censored quite a bit. It's just, again, it's just disheartening. You see what the right wing gets away with posting. Right. Like they're literally posting threats. They're posting 2025 agendas. They're posting, threats to our democracy. And I go on here and say, the latest video I got taken down was something from Juneteenth. The video of the Roots of the Schoolhouse Rock live video. They took that down. They took that down for hate speech.
I swear to God, if you posted a picture of Juneteenth mac and cheese, they would ban your TikTok.
Yep.
You'd be like, here's what mac and cheese looks like on Juneteenth. Here's what it looks like on July 4th, and you would know a difference.
Yep. It just sucks. Like I said, Rob Filipkowski, literally the reason he banned me or blocked me, I would share videos from his page because he would have good videos. So it was like, okay, there's a way that you can post a video from somebody else's page and write your own, whatever to it.
Yeah.
But it still, if you do it that way, it still gives the original account, it still gives them the views on the video. So instead of screen recording it and literally stealing it,
right, stripping it,
I was trying to still give him the interaction. Well, he would see that, and there was a post where I used one of his videos and it did way better than his original did, and he blocked me. So that's the type of shit that happens on the left. It's like, people that you think, we're on the same side. It's like, we may believe in some of the same things. We're not on the same side.
Yeah.
Like there's people that knew that, I'm bipolar and stuff, and it's like they act like they're concerned, or they act like they care, or they act like they're good people, but then when you have an episode or something happens, and it's like you get no grace. You get nothing. It's like fuck him. It's like, okay, so really you're just a piece of shit who claims to care, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you're just like everybody else. So
they just lack empathy, man. It's really tragic, and that's something I liked about coming in when we first tested this out, which was more so of like, I'm not coming from that world. I'm not coming from likes. It was pulling teeth. You were getting so frustrated with me about TikTok, and I was like, I just don't need it in my diet. I'm not interested. And I get it, but I get it. I was
getting frustrated just from the music standpoint, just because I could.
I knew. Yes. Yeah. Because you were like, Ian, you don't understand.
It's different now.
The volume that you can get your stuff out there, which thank you. Like, again, you're right.
But and just for people to hear this, Ian went to school when we got out of high school. He went down to college to a music producing school in Florida. So I mean, he went to school for this shit.
Right.
And but back then, we're 40. Right. Back then, it was hard to break.
I'm on my Benjamin Button, baby. I trimmed this beard down. I lost a
black
couple
don't
years.
Crack.
All right.
Yeah, crackers crack. Okay, they crumble.
I've been called young man all week, baby.
I'm telling you,
I was like, am I wearing something new?
This asshole still gets carded. Yeah. They look at me. They're like, "No, you're good." But no, what I was trying to get through to him was like, dude, it's so different now. The ways that there's so many outlets for you to get your music out and get it heard. It's so different now. And it was like, just now that you see that, it's like watching a little kid that's figured out, how to use something for the first time. You're like, oh,
his dad's
shit.
phone to watch porn. Hello.
Yep, exactly.
Hello, Pornhub Mike.
So
That's your son.
But so just being able to see you, take what you create and put it out there, it's been great, and I know that you're just getting started. So that's the better part of it is, this is still new, and we're only 23 episodes into this show. You're about to have enough music put out to have a full LP. So it's just happening fast, man. We're getting heard in 11 different countries.
Right,
Did you think
right.
that would be happening in January?
Not when we started this, brother.
Not
Not
me
when we
neither.
started this. I was just like, hey man, what you doing on Friday night?
Well, it was just funny because it was, I don't even remember how it was. I think it was just, hey, why don't you come on the show? Like, just come on the show and we'll bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it started. And then, but I knew when we got off the first show, I was like, oh, this is something he actually wants to do. This could be fun.
Wait, I went to school for also radio, and I did radio when I was 17, 18, and 19. Before
Yeah.
I went to the other school, I was in radio in Detroit, and there was a thing there that was me as a 17-year-old running around in some of the most wild places.
Yeah. It's really cool to look back at the things that we both did, in high school. Like I was, shout out to Mr. Kaufman. He was our theater, but also our video production. So I took his video production class. He was the first person that ever taught me how to do like titles on a screen. So, I mean, I was learning this shit back then, but of course, I didn't, you don't know that that's what you're learning it or you're ever going to use it again.
Right.
So, but it, and then being in theater, being in choir and stuff, everything just kind of trains you for this. So it's like, I can point to things that happened in high school and teachers I had that helped prepare me for what we're doing.
Right.
And that's the really cool thing. But shout out to all our teachers out there. I still talk to a couple of mine.
Mine's my music teacher from elementary school who got
guys,
me my first violin, Miss Burr.
Miss Burr.
I
Shout out
reached
to Miss
out to Miss
Burr.
Burr. I was like, Miss Burr, I don't know if you know this, but I moved to New York making music. And she's like, wait, what? I go, yes.
Yep.
Like, I got music on Netflix. I got music everywhere. I go, and now here's my whole album that I made off my phone. And she's like, wait, what?
That's awesome.
So, here we are.
And mine is Miss Bolio. She was my third and fourth grade teacher.
That's what's up.
Yeah, she was amazing because she came into my life at the perfect time, which was my dad had just moved us to Royal Oak from Hazel Park. So I was new. I didn't know anybody, and my dad had gone in to meet Miss Bolio, and I think she really liked my dad. And because of that, she developed a good relationship with me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I think she just had a sense that I wasn't. I didn't have a mother at home every night, and I think she got a sense of that. She'd keep me after school. And help me with things that I was struggling with. It's just looking back when you're older, and you're just like, wow, the amount of time, the amount of effort that she put into me.
Absolutely.
And then remembering that she had another 25, 30 kids that she was putting equal effort into,
a whole school year.
A whole school year, every day, in and out.
This is why when their teachers put in the work and they're the right teacher, they are not paid enough, but you see the impact that they have. And I want everybody think about your favorite teacher.
Yep.
That one, I don't care what grade it was. There was that one teacher that just it spoke to you and it tapped into something that nobody else could. You know what I mean?
And I think too,
Amazing thing.
It's amazing when teachers come into your life at the times when you need them too. Sometimes,
yeah.
Like I said, I really would. I'd love to have that conversation with Miss Bolio's like 81 now, but we just talked like 6 months ago. She's like, I'm 81, but I'm still here, still great.
Ask her, can she run a country?
She probably could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Girl, you got this.
Could. Yeah.
Tap you in. Tap you in.
Miss Bolio could probably do it, and do it without hurting a bunch of feelings at the same time.
Hey man, it wouldn't be Friday Feelings without it. Let's go. Yeah. Hold the mic.
Shout out to all our teachers.
And shout out to Kaylin, co-hosted The Golfer Home on ESPN Radio.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Look at this.
That's very cool.
Let's put that out there, man. 4,500
watching on Twitter. So we see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So let's get back because I want to finish up this outline. We're already at almost 2 hours. Crap.
It's all good. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications, guys.
Yeah, let's try to get through these last ones kind of quick. They're not that big. So let me check the comments. Any Dem I know has not changed their mind on Biden. I wish I could say the same. But I've talked to some Democrats that are definitely on the fence. And I wish it wasn't the case. Like I said, I'm
When you go into that
it blows
booth,
my mind that this is even a conversation. But
if it's Biden or Trump and you go into that booth, I expect people are going to snap out of this bullshit of this wonderland that they're in right now. And they're really going to look at, and they're going to see it right there when there's those two names, Trump or Biden. And
Yeah.
I think people are going to really snap out of whatever this haze is right now, if it is Biden, because a lot is going to be coming out, guys. A lot is coming out starting September into October and for sure into November. A lot's coming out.
A lot is going to come out. And you know what, guys? Life happens. We don't know what's going to happen week to week, month to month. So I try to keep that in mind every day. You know, like I said, whether it's morbid, I don't know. I like to think of myself as a realist. The reality is we've got two guys running for president that are like 78 and 80, 81. Right. So the possibility of one of them not being here one day when we wake up is very real.
That's so true.
And no matter which one is in the White House, I hope that they have a plan for it. God forbid if something does happen. I hope that both of them would be able to build a good administration. But again, I go back to, if you look at Trump's administration and the amount of turnover he had, the amount of people that quit, a year in, 6 months in, that he was constantly having turnover. And then go ask those people if they're going to support Trump now. Go ask them if they're willing to work for him again.
Right.
There's about 10 of them that are sitting in jail right now. So, if you look at that by itself, Joe Biden is a leader who has been able to put together an administration and a cabinet that is at least respected, and we don't wake up every day thinking, oh my God, is the president burning down the country? Is his administration failing at everything they do? Like, again, Trump's administration, his press secretary didn't do a presser for freaking 9 months. Like, his press secretary wouldn't even do their job.
That's right.
Like, can we please, we need to refresh people's memories to these things. Like, he did not have a competent administration. Donald Trump didn't.
Yeah.
And you can, like I said, I don't agree with everything that's happened under Biden's administration, but you cannot argue the fact that they have gotten a lot done. And they've gotten things done that Donald Trump and the Republican Party said that they would do. And it ended up being Biden. Like, you want to talk about insulin? When Donald Trump and the Republicans come out and say, oh, well, Trump actually did that. Trump negotiated the price for insulin down to $35 for one company. One.
No, they volunteered. He didn't even, they volunteered.
Thank you. Even better.
Yeah.
But it was for one company. Joe Biden and his administration have done it for all of them.
Made it
if
across
you're going
the
to do
board.
Business with us and you're going to do business with the American people,
That's right.
then you're going to offer insulin at a reasonable freaking price, because it doesn't cost $1,000 for one vial of insulin. Matter of fact, it costs you so little that what you're doing is criminal.
Yeah.
So don't forget who delivered on that. Just like the healthcare plan that Donald Trump said that he was going to come up with to replace the Affordable Care Act. They couldn't get that done. So I asked people, what is it that Donald Trump delivered on that you think was so great that we need to put this man back in the White House? Because the tax bracket isn't it. If you're in the middle class and you're sitting there saying, oh, well, my taxes were better. No, they weren't. You're lying. Unless you cheated on your taxes.
Right.
Because if you had kids, you got a lower amount of money for your kids. You got less write-offs. And the fact is that it was a tiered tax system that went into effect at different times. So when you're seeing a tax system that's under Donald or Joe Biden, it's actually a legislation that was passed by Trump.
Right. That's right.
So
that's right. All by design. All by design.
So
and that's where that $4.8 trillion added to the deficit was for the tax breaks for the rich.
Yeah.
Trickle down.
Yeah, Eno's our other co-host.
He is a little mascot that likes to pop in. This is, I actually think, how my wife sends him his little cute ass to walk over here like, hey, wrap it up. I think
is that the wrap up sign?
I think this is coded language. I honestly think.
Is that the wrap up sign?
She's like, wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Well,
now,
she's not alone.
That's another black job right there. See that?
Oh,
there it is.
I love it.
Good job. No,
I'll have to
it's all
send
good.
that-
We keep
I'll have
going.
to
We
send
keep
that
going.
I'll have to send that paperwork in. But no, let's wrap this up.
No. That's not why I said that. That's not why I was saying that.
No, you ain't the only one, bro. Trust me.
Your dog is a lot bigger than mine.
Yeah, it's my wife too. She's like, it's dinner time.
Wrap it up, B.
So I wanted to talk about real quick about Ryan Garcia. If you don't know who Ryan Garcia is, he is a douchebag boxer / Trump supporter. And he was expelled from boxing after a nice little online racist tirade, which we won't read so that we don't get booted off.
No.
But I will say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I will say that I have actually had some encounters with Ryan Garcia online. And
was that before or after I hit you up?
that was before.
I love these moments with you where I always send you something and you're like, well, get this. Check out my Pokemon cards. I'm like, you just drop them on me. You always drop these gems on me.
This was on April 26th. April 26th of this year. I said Ryan Garcia's a loser because he was sitting there like shadow boxing in front of Trump. And I was like, and I said Ryan Garcia is a little bitch hamming it up for a rapist and domestic terrorist. And then somebody said, brother, you got a full-time fight going on for your hairline. Settle that before you come after Ryan Garcia. And I was just like, I shave my head bald because that's what real men do. This would be funny if I had a comb over or toupee, but I don't. Donald Trump is a racist. Ryan Garcia is a bitch. You're a simp. Disrespectfully, Baldy.
Just remember, Michael Jordan's bald, and he's a goat. So
right?
We make this shit look
real
sexy.
Real men shave their head. Little alpha males try to cover it up with comb overs or whatever. But these were my three favorite. Two of them were directly to Ryan. I said, Trump's a rapist and you're a piece of shit. You're one of the biggest douchebags, too, supporting Trump. Good thing you can punch things because your brain ain't worth shit. So, yeah, I kind of knew this guy was a douchebag before. But it's nice to see that the Boxing Association is feeling the same way.
Man. Karma comes from
Karma's a
all of us.
bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you guys, free speech is a real thing, okay? But you guys are misinterpreting the First Amendment, and consequences are a motherfucker, and a lot of you are learning that.
Keep showing us who you are. That's all I
That
say.
too. Like, bald is sexy. I agree. I think my wife agrees. Hope so. Damn, giving douches a bad name. Sorry, that was funny. Okay, so Ryan Garcia was definitely our stop making stupid people famous today. Let's stop making these douchebags famous. That would be amazing.
Stop making stupid people.
Speaking of douchebags, let's move on to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Apparently,
No, is this the no cure for stupid segment?
No.
I'm just joking, man.
Oh.
You look so serious.
I was like, what did I miss?
No, not at all.
No.
But I do one of your great segues into this one.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. There was a picture that was going around of him holding up what looked to be like a dog that had been filleted open one of those pigs on a roaster or whatever.
Oh no.
And there's a picture of him like he's eating it. And he's denying that he ever ate the dog. And you don't see him eating it. He's just got his mouth open like he's gonna bite it. So he might not have eaten it. But either way, he had a dog on a skewer and took a photo with it. So,
okay, but why? What's the justification?
I don't know. He's fucking weird. Like,
okay.
But also, I guess they also were asking. Hang on. But they were also asking him about his sexual assault allegations. Oh. And apparently he didn't want to answer anything about that. But he definitely wanted to let everybody know he didn't eat the dog. But we aren't so sure about the sexual assault.
What does he sound during pillow talk as well?
Oh, baby. That's so good. Right there.
I did not expect you to do it. I didn't expect you to do it. I did not expect you to do it.
Yeah. Finger in my ass, right? Like, who wants to listen to that dude give a fucking State of the Union? Are you serious?
You ain't gonna just blow past that. Stop it. Was that the worm talking or was that him talking? What was it? Stop it right
the
now.
worm.
God
Oh,
damn
but it's
it,
not
that is
over. But
hilarious.
it's not over. There's also this. So listen, if you're one of those people out there talking about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as a viable candidate, he's a good third party. Kick rocks, okay?
Yeah.
Do you this dude's with Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, Donald Trump, Mike Pence? No.
Yep. He's and some of the donors that are heavily sponsoring, and I call it that, sponsoring
Yes.
Trump, are also sponsoring him
Funding
to keep
his
him in the
campaign
race.
as well.
Yes, that is correct.
Because
The guy who did $50 million for Trump did $25 million for Robert F. Kennedy.
Because they think, right now they might be right, but they're hoping that he's going to take a lot of Biden's voters.
Right.
But what I don't think they're anticipating is that I think that there's a lot of people that maybe voted for Trump that are actually going to vote for Kennedy.
That's correct.
So
it's actually backfiring.
Yeah, I think it could, numbers wise, I think it could end up backfiring on them.
Yeah.
So, but only time will tell. I wanted real quick, the jobs report came back in. It was stronger than expected. But there was a but. The unemployment went up to 4.1% as well.
Went up 0.1.
Well, it went up to 4.1%, and
Was it
which it's
3.9 or was it 4 point before this?
No, it was 3.9. So it went up to 4.1%, and that's surpassing 4% unemployment for the first time since November 2021. So paints an interesting picture.
Yep.
Unemployment going up a little bit while job numbers still look strong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that pans out here in the next few months. Rudy Giuliani was disbarred from practicing law in the state of New York.
That's correct.
Ever again.
Yep.
Thank
you.
Yes, thank you. This next one, before I put it up, I just want you to imagine you're driving down the road. It's a nice sunny day. You got your sunglasses on, AC's on in the car, looking at the nice trees. You see people outside drinking their coffees, eating their Joe Biden snow cones, and you look up and you see this. Biden's dementia is worsening. He's not fit.
It sounds like Trump with his dentures falling out.
So, for those that are listening who can't see the photo
Stop
I have
it.
up, it is a billboard.
Stop it.
And it has a photo of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that says "Phony Kamala, Sleepy Joe," and it says in big letters across the whole thing, Biden's dementia, spelled DIMENSIA. That
Where
is not
was
how
this
you spell
located?
dementia.
No, where was this located?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
I think
this
it was.
is
I think
priceless.
it was Pennsylvania.
So, you know what? They are doing a heavy campaigning out there. I would not be surprised.
I think it was Pennsylvania, but it's like, you want us to vote for you people?
I'm gonna vote for Hooked on Phonics, and then let's just see where that goes. Okay?
You know who needs to run?
Dementia.
You know who needs to run? LeVar Burton. He just needs to. He needs to teach half the country how to read.
That's apple pie right there, man. He is humble apple pie. He can show up with them Jordy glasses. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. So, with that said, that's the end of the show. What?
just
Hey.
Dementia. That's it, folks.
Dementia.
Happy moments.
But so what's your positive for the week, brother?
So circling back, there's a reason why I'm rocking this. It's my tank top. I wear it every year for 4th of July. Until this shirt has holes in it that I can't rock it no more. I wear it literally for the day of, and I don't think anything of it, only because I'm like it's the one day that I'm gonna rock USA. So proudly, right? 240 years. Some empires don't see 250. Let's see if we do. This might have been the last one under a democracy. We'll see. And
Sad but
so
true.
it's a part where I felt it was really great to be here locally in Brooklyn, not going anywhere, not trying to do anything crazy, just be with my family. And a friend told me that his plans got canceled. And so he was, were we free? And I'm like, always, I have an open door policy. Anytime, come on over. And so I ended up cooking dinner for him, which was great because it's something we all needed, right? It's one of those kind of moments where you get to really connect. And I have great relationships with a lot of my friends where it's one of those, it doesn't have to, we don't have to do anything. We could just post up and just have a good time. We're going to laugh about whatever, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
But he said something to me that I didn't even think about. And this is my positive. He goes, I'm really glad you're wearing that shirt. And I go, oh, yeah, I like it. He goes, no, I love that you're not letting it be a message only for one party of this country.
Yeah.
And I go, I never thought about that. He goes, it's really like a symbol that they're trying to kidnap and take and make it theirs. Like, this is theirs. They are for the American flag. We're for every other flag, but we don't want our own flag. I'm like, no, but this is our country. Whatever happened, no matter what, it all is under this umbrella. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to wear that shirt. I'm going to wear this shirt for the show. I'm going to rock it for everybody to see. Like, this is something I do stand for. The good, the bad, and the ugly that this country has given all of us. It is still our country that we can help mold and shape and make it a better place for everyone.
Yeah.
And I hold on to that dearly, and there's something there about thinking about our own history, what your own family lineage has given to this country for us to be standing where we are standing today.
Yep.
And then think about what you're trying to do for the next generation, regardless if it's your kids or your neighbor's kids, whoever. If you're fighting for something and you're fighting for a better tomorrow, I was like, I'm rocking USA. And I'm really proud of it in the sense of, I'm not going to let it be hijacked. I'm not going to let this become like the Confederate flag. This shit beat the shit out of the Confederate flag. And that's something that I really rock.
Yeah.
So that's my positive.
No, it's interesting. I mean, because I think a lot of people have noticed that the flag, it whether we like it or not, after January 6th, it seemed to have become synonymous with, the domestic terrorists and, and those people, watching people who claim to be patriotic beating the crap out of police officers with an American flag on the flagpole.
Don't get it twisted. People looked at me sideways all up here in Brooklyn. They're like, oh, fuck, here's a MAGA.
Yeah, he's a MAGA.
I was like, no.
You need to balance it out, something.
I didn't. Be happy I didn't wear a red hat that said made you look, because then I would have definitely been making people nervous. But no, but it was one of those things where I realized, I go, no, people do get a little uneasy when they see an American flag.
Oh, it's very real.
I want to break that stereotype where I'm like, no, man, this is something that we got to fight for.
Yep.
This equally is not going anywhere.
No.
And we can't let that we cannot have this be kidnapped. I'm sorry.
No, we can't.
Not going to let it happen.
And at the end of the day, what the flag represents is much bigger than one party.
100%.
So it does belong to all of us, and hopefully, come November, more people will want to take it back and bring back what it used to mean to all of us. I'm honestly tired every time I see an American flag on a car or somebody with an American flag shirt on or something. I'm tired of automatically thinking, that they're not a friendly,
right.
that they're a Trumpy. Like that's not the way we should feel when we see our flag.
And that's what I really loved about my friend saying that to me. He's like, it really is actually really nice to see somebody wear a flag that's not that, and to not let it be taken hostage.
Yeah, with no weird agenda behind it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, absolutely. But I did see the eyes, and I go, that's weird. Like, it's not weird. It's something, and I've had this shirt for a long time.
Yeah.
I've done this for a long time, and I go, no, but it's something I'm always gonna do. Always gonna do it.
Yep. No, that's good, man. That's my good
positive.
No, that's a good positive for the week. Mine's focused around the kids. We're gearing up to go on vacation, so we're ready for that. And but just celebrating the 4th of July with family. We had my sister and brother-in-law come over. So we just sat outside in the driveway, and I got some fireworks from Target. And we just sat outside, and the kids had a blast.
Love that.
Yeah, we discovered that Dominic is a pyro. He
A little
he
anarchist.
yeah, dude. So we didn't know. So he's
You
like,
don't
"Dad,
know
can
until you know.
don't know until you know." And so he wanted to light one off. So I was like, okay, and I let him do it, and he did fine with it. So then he starts lighting off more, and then we had these little. They weren't Roman candles. They were like these long sticks that shot out sparks. Cool little sparks. So we notice, Liv's like playing around like she's doing a spell or something, and I see Dominic over there pointing it at, because the fountain fireworks had like their paper cardboard box. So there's Dominic trying to set the cardboard boxes on fire with the Roman candle thing, and I figured out it was because here in Arizona, we have to be responsible. You don't want to start any wildfires. So I ran our hose out to the driveway so that if something, we could hose it down. So I figured out he was trying to set things on fire so that he could play fireman and put it out with the hose. So it was cute. It was
love
cute.
that.
So yeah, we had a good time, and we got to hang out with some family that we hadn't gotten to see because they both came down with COVID, so they were dealing with that for a few weeks, and but they're good now, and so it was nice to see them and just get to hang out and catch up, and it was a low key night, but fun. We had a good time.
Good old fashioned American 4th of July.
That's all it was, man. Just family and.
How was the food? Is the question.
God, I don't even remember I think we just did hot dogs. Yeah, I made hot dogs. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything crazy. But tonight, Jen's making steak bites. Dude.
Oh.
She made these. So we had steak, and usually I grill the steak, but I was busy trying to do some other stuff, and she's like, well, I'll just make it. She's like, I saw this recipe for steak bites in the air fryer. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try it. So she cuts the steak up into little bites, like, good little chunks, and she did it in the air fryer. Holy crap, were they good. It was like, and they were perfect. Every piece had like a little edge of crispiness to them.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, they were good. So I was like, yeah, you got to, and the kids, like, sometimes it's hard to get them to eat, like the steak for some reason.
Of course.
Man,
in general.
they just hoovered that stuff. Like, she was like, it's gone. So it's like, yeah, you're going to have to make that again.
Okay.
So I think she's making that tonight, and then we're gonna go in the pool tomorrow, and then we're actually gonna go down to my in-laws for a few days.
It's gonna be a good weekend. So the fun really does start. It starts tonight. Well, I guess you say
as soon as we hit the end button.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I already know. Jen's like, wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up.
It's so good. It is gonna be a lot of pool this weekend. I had little man in the pool, so we're doing our thing. And Caitlin, I appreciate you. 5,000. Here we are, guys.
Yep.
5,000. This
big
show is doing it big.
A big shout out to our moderator and everybody that shows up. Like, we see so many of you that show up every Friday. Angry Bunny, love you. Jeffrey, Rochelle, so many of you guys that show up every week. So thank you for coming to hang out with us on your Friday nights.
You could be anywhere, and you guys are here with us, kicking it.
Yep, and we love and appreciate you guys. So with that, remember, stay safe, keep fighting, and we will see you guys